community?
You don't know? Do you know what community is? What's your community?
I don't have any views.
We don't have a thing to say.
Well, I think it's bringing people together at events like this to help build a camaraderie and a sense of community. I think it's very important to have these type of things that highlight the historical aspect of the community so that people have a pride in that community.
When I think of community, I think of the people I know and love.
I don't know how to say anything better than that.
How do we define community?
Community? Place where we pay our taxes.
I think a community is who you affiliate with, and sometimes that's your family, and sometimes for people that may not fit within their family's ideas, so individuals that, you know, their family may not approve of their homosexuality, choose a community of people that are accepting. At least for me, that's certainly been part of it. And it's people that you love to hang around with, that support you, that you can depend on, that you can say, I need something, or if they need something, you're there to help support them.
To me, community means local folks working together to solve problems or celebrate issues that they come across concerning social and economics.
My definition of community is a group of people that are bound together through shared norms, values, and practices. And in this definition of community, the symbolic structures of language are central. They determine what is meaningful, the vision of the world and the construction of the world, and what's also insignificant.
I think of a community as a group of people who are working together for their mutual well-being. I don't think that is limited to economics, to history, to heritage. I think that there are any number of facets to a community that's truly functioning at its optimal level.
Growing up with the kids on this island, it was just a community in its truest sense to me, because although we did fight like kids fight and argue, we supported each other. As far as somebody's building a cabin in the woods, we have some extra nails, would give them our extra nails. The deal would be we'd stay a night in there, you know. And if somebody was hungry, a family was hungry, my grandmother was notorious for this. She would go grocery shopping, and she would get a few of her friends to go grocery shopping, and they would all get a few things, and they would put them in bags, grocery bags. And generally speaking, a person who was without food wouldn't say they were without food. They would just, it was obvious they were without food. And then the old people would have us kids, at a time when somebody wasn't home, or it was dark, or they knew somebody was taking a nap or something, go put all the groceries on their doorstep, bang on the door, and take off as quick as we could, and there'd be all this food. And that, they would reciprocate. When they had food and they had seasonal work and they had extra money and somebody else was going without food, they would do the same thing. But nobody really wanted anybody to know that they didn't have food. And because there was no exchange eye to eye with this food, there was always this sense that I owe somebody because I don't know who did this.
Well, when you say community, I think of a group of people living together and working together and squabbling together and enjoying themselves together. It's a commune. It's a group of people that, well, sometimes they don't get along with each other. That's human nature. We all can't agree on everything. If we did, they'd probably only make 4 cars. That's just. But a community is, to me, is a group of people in an area that know one another, sometimes intimately, sometimes not so intimately, but they know them and trust them. And this is my interpretation of a community.
So when I think of the word community, I think of all of the different people that contribute to making our place a much better place. I think there's a whole sense of belongingness, and we take care of each other. I think that's the best part of being in a community.
I think of family. I think of connections. I think of a place of a sense of home, a place to be, to interact with many people.
Well, I think that if you want to know what I think about community, just pan the camera in a big circle right now.
What are those? We should probably get out of the way.
Oh no, this is my whole point right here. This is it. This is community right here. Somebody comes to your booth, you're never by yourself, you can go get coffee when you want to because you have friends and people that care about what you're doing, and that's what I think about community.
Community is being with your friends and family!
I don't know, I think community means people doing things together, knowing what's going on, trying to make decisions about happenings and how community is used and how community spaces function. And I think it's hard to maintain that anymore because I think we have communities a lot of times, I guess, used to be more isolated, and now there's so many influences from outside and so many looks to other places that I think it's harder for people to take real interest in community activities anymore. Be really interested in making communities work. That's what I think.
When I think of community, I think of a bunch of people getting together and helping each other.
Yeah, basically having like people in your community like to help out with problems or to help clean up the streets or whatnot.
It's like a family.
Yeah, your family's community, neighbors.
Yeah.
It's a small community.
Community, the word community is brought to me, I just think of people in our town and everybody that lives here.
A community, close-knit, a group of people close-knit together, helping each other out. You think of neighbors as well. I mean, obviously from a small town to a big town it's different, but, you know, everyone has their own sort of take, you know, every community is different, but you know, it's just everyone leaning on each other, helping each other out, you know, and you know, just not grinding or grating up against each other.
We don't grate, this is what we do. We all get along, because when we don't get along, there ain't no community, and that's when it's time for vigilantes to take the stage, baby.
Hey, you gotta put that in there. Wow.